September 17th, we've had 2,102 negatives, 4 positives, 2 players, 2 student personnel. And of those 4, 3 are active, currently positive cases, 2 players and 1 student personnel. So again, September 17th was the start date, daily testing, 2,102 negatives, 4 positives, 2 students, 2 student personnel and 2 players, and then 3 actives currently, 2 players, 1 student personnel. And then a scheduling update, going back to the original 2020 schedule, September 12th Western Kentucky game, which was going to be held here at Memorial Stadium, has been rescheduled for September 15th, 2029, still be at Memorial Stadium. So that's September 15th, 2029, Western Kentucky here. All right, any questions? Get going here in 1 minute. You're muted, Tom.
I'll put that on my 2029 calendar right now.
I know you guys love those schedules. Got to get it out.
See, that'll be just prior to my 71st birthday. If I'm covering that game, I will be greatly disappointed.
Yeah, 42-year-old Zach can't wait to cover IU Western Kentucky.
See you there.
Managing the Braves in 2029, Zach.
Just bringing in those relievers, baby.
Still no championship.
Hey, we've got one.
Zach, why don't you start with questions? Tom Brew, you go second.
Tom, I guess the just the generic first one, but how did the weekend go? What did you like that you saw? And I guess maybe more specifically, just are there things you're doing differently with these opportunities because you don't have a non-conference, because you know you're kind of going straight into the deep end?
In some ways, yes. You know, we're also trying to battle through just the normal progression of getting into pads, you know. So we chose the route of being very judicious in the approach of not going too much too soon. You know, it was actually our first day of full pads was Saturday, which was the day we scrimmaged, which is usually not the case. It was only our second day in full pads since the bowl game. We snuck in 1 day of full pads during spring ball. That was day number 4. That was our final day that we had, and this was our first time since then. So you're trying to get your guys ready. So we reduced the numbers quite a bit. But as you mentioned, you know, to try and speed up the learning process, we've done more situations, even through walkthroughs, situational things in both special teams and offense and defense, trying to teach those right now to be able to get guys ready to play at a high level and cover all those, you know, potential things that don't always happen in a game and may not even happen in the first game or the first several games, but you never know. So I just think you're just trying to balance that whole mindset of getting them physically ready and not hitting too much. I did think our tackling was positive. Obviously you're going against each other, but it was our goal was to get about 25 to 30 snaps of live goes for some guys. And some guys got in that range, some got a few less. I mean, a couple got a few more. But, yeah, we're just trying to just keep building this thing. So the goal next time we have our Saturday scrimmage, this coming Saturday, to double those numbers. And then the next time that we would have a full situation after that will be our game. So definitely a unique situation for sure. But really, I don't look at it any different than if we would be playing a conference, team week number 1, which we were supposed to play anyways. In the original schedule, we were going to play at Wisconsin in the first game. So from that perspective, it's not different. We're just trying to manage the calendar with the number of days we've been given here to get ready.
Tom, then John Blau.
Tom, I know you've talked Saturday to Saturday in regards to practice and scrimmage and such, but how much live stuff are you trying to accomplish, from a hitting standpoint, Monday through Friday as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. We will go a couple days this week live during the week. They'll be segmented. It'll be more probably short yardage, goal line. It's kind of hard to do those, and even in a thud tempo, keeping guys up is tough when it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, whether it's on the goal line or whether it's even in the middle of the field. So I can see us doing those live. I don't see us doing a full bore scrimmage during the middle of the week. We'll save that for Saturday. We'll have a pretty lengthy one this weekend. That's the plan. So we're just trying to, really be very, very I guess careful is maybe the right word, but just really evaluate our guys, know where we're at, know which workload we can handle as we continue to build this thing each and every day. So, yeah, we definitely have some live goes throughout the week.
All right, John, then Matt Weaver.
Yeah, you talk about that scrimmage. I mean, obviously it's been a very choppy off season. How much rust was there? I mean, how was the play? I guess how would you describe it? And did anybody stand out?
That's something we talked about. You go through and you evaluate it, and I've watched it 3 times now, and I feel like that. Like I said, for the first time doing some of those things in a long time, it was pretty clean. Not a lot of false start penalties on the offense, not a lot of penalties in general in terms of it was a pretty clean execution from my perspective. And I think that's, is good in regards to the fact we've got a lot of guys back. And so you kind of expect that in some ways, but you're just away and you're not doing those kinds of things together. So I did think that was one of the positives from it. You still have mistakes and still have things that we have to clean up, but it wasn't one of those sloppy scrimmages that you sometimes find yourself in when you do it for the first time in a long time. So that was definitely something that I was encouraged by.
Matt and Paul Gable.
Hey, Coach. How's it going?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm okay. Obviously, at wideout, you guys have a good idea what you have with your top 3 there, and Wap and Ty, and Miles Marshall's played quite a bit, and even David Ellis, I know, has been at running back, but could give you snaps there. But after that, I know depth's important. Any guys kind of stepping up to get in the mix there, and a guy like Jacoby Hewitt, kind of where's he at after missing last year with the knee injury?
Yeah, I think as a collective group, definitely one that we've challenged to see who's going to rise up. And I would say from this past weekend, guy like Javon Swinton made some plays and has caught my eye and has done that consistently. The thing about Javon that has really impressed me, and shared this with our staff yesterday, when you think about a young man coming in as a true freshman, he does everything he's supposed to do. And there's never issues academically. Whenever he's told to do something, he never shows up on a list where he's late for something or this didn't get done or he didn't follow through on this or that. He always takes care of his business. Doesn't say a whole lot. He studies. He's been prepared and he's made plays. So that to me, that's a great formula for a true freshman. So I think he's one for sure. Desean Brown's another one that showed flashes and made some big plays and needs to. We expect him to rise up and even though Gary Cooper's a guy we've used as a tight end and flex him out different things, but he made plays as well in space and catching balls and doing some good things there. So those are the 3 guys. And then as well as Jacoby. Jacoby's done a good job. It's always hard to come back from that kind of an injury that you miss so much time because of it. It's still learning the playbook more, still just making sure he can, obviously he's learned it, he's been here, but then going out and executing at the full speed level, being able to know exactly what to do, when to do it. So definitely making progress. And he's a guy that we need to be able to, win some of those one-on-ones, when you get a lot of man coverage teams, because of his athleticism.
Paul and Kevin Brockway.
Hey, Coach, thanks for doing this. Last week you had mentioned how you guys are acclimating towards the season opener for Penn State. How's that going? And also, are you guys mixing in like no crowd noise like I've seen some of the other Big Ten programs doing to try to prepare for that season opener?
Well, we haven't done any simulated noise yet. I'm trying to get a good feel for what that's supposed to look like for the conference rules and how that will sound. And obviously, as soon as we do, hopefully even by this weekend, we'd like to be able to start that process. So we were in the stadium, and that was very important, I thought, to be able to get in that environment. It's the first time we've been in the stadium. We have restrictions and rules based on the numbers we can have in there. And so we were able to get everything set up for that to be run properly. And so that's step number 1. Obviously, that's the venue we're going to play in week 1. And then now the next step is to be able to get in there with the level of noise that they're going to allow us to have, so which is at this point is not completely known. But I just know it's going to be different, and we've talked about that already. And I just think just the energy has to come from within. Regardless of whether you're playing home or on the road, because of the environments and the empty bleachers that you're going to have as the norm, and so for us to be able to do that, I just think that it's definitely unique you just watch these games, and obviously not had a chance to watch any of them live yet, but definitely a different feel than there's been in the past. So as we know exactly how it's going to be, we will simulate that the best that we can during practice.
All right, Kevin, then Dylan Loss.
Hey, Coach, the field goal clip of Campbell looked like it was about 57 yards. Is that accurate? And what was it like to see him make that kick? And how much special teams work did he get done in the scrimmage, and have you been getting done, the first week?
Yeah, we've been putting a big emphasis on special teams, not only in the meetings and emphasizing each and every weekend after we have a, slate of games and pro games and get clips from those games to be able to talk about situations that have been happening across the country. And, whether it's things that happen, that don't normally happen, or just normal routine things that you have to, just fielding a punt. Guys muffed, the big muff yesterday in a game that was very defining, sequence of events that can change everything for a team or allow a team to finish out a game. And even just saw another game where a young man was covering the punt, the ball hit him, the other team recovers it, and once again has a chance to finish out a game. So just those, definitely reviewed all those, and we'll continue to do that. We worked mostly on Crimson Watch, which is our punt unit, did live goes with that. And during the scrimmage, I thought that was very, very effective for us. And I think Hayden's doing a tremendous job punting right now, and we're getting our unit really gelled together at that point. Obviously, that's always something you're working on. And then the field goals, as you mentioned. And so, Charles, it was a 57-yard field goal that he was able to make. It was part of our 2-minute drill that we were working on, that he took the field for that. And, man, it was, he nailed it. He's got a strong leg and a lot of confidence, and he's an excellent kicker, and Jack Cardillo has also done a really, really good job. So to have two quality kickers is very, very important. We know that depth at every position is critical. We got to be able to have that. Long snappers, can't take that for granted. We've already seen that play roles in games earlier this year. So just even working on some more guys today, with the long snapping, just because of the hole. At home, it shouldn't be as big of an issue, but on the road, it can be a real challenge, So, yeah, special teams is going to be a priority for us. It has to be, and Coach Tigar is doing a great job organizing that part of our game, running those guys and organizing, each and every day that we're trying to get a little bit better. So appreciate the work he's doing. He's got to keep working.
All right, Dylan, then Peaks.
Hey, Tom, I know ever since kind of early August, the Indiana Excellence Academy has been, kind of encouraging student athletes here to vote and educating them on how to register and vote and things like that. I know since today's the last day to register to vote in Indiana, I was wondering if, players are having conversations with you about that, just because I know you guys were really open this summer talking about sort of the issues and everything that was going on.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, our entire team is registered and has been, we were very on top of that. And I really commend Coach Brandon Shelby, Mike Hart together, took care of that and took ownership of that. And my whole objective is I just want our guys to, execute their right and their privilege to be able to vote in our democracy, and we never tell them who to vote for, and you challenge them to, just be able to study and know the issues and vote for the person and the individuals, that you believe represent what you want, and that's where it's very important, and I know it's been obviously a national emphasis, but we've taken that to heart here, and our guys have got into that like they should. And, we, as the whole conference is doing, where they'll have the day for us, all of us, to be able to exercise our right to vote is a very, very, important thing. And so, yes, that's something that we have been very, aggressive with our players in regards to getting them squared away with all that. Because, most of our guys are out of state, so that it's not just a simple process you have to go through. So those guys have done that, and I'm, encouraged by the way they responded to that.
All right, Peaks, and then back to Zach.
Coach, can you talk about Raheem Lane's injury, how it occurred, and how long he might be out for, and also how the quarterback's been playing in the scrimmage and the 1 week with your pads here?
Yes, in regards to Raheem, it was a situation actually he was not injured in practice, just something that was kind of nagging, has been nagging for a while, and just felt like it was, something that in order for him to play to level he needs to play at, we sat down and he agreed, and we all agreed he just need to get it fixed. And so we don't know exactly the exact timeline, but it definitely won't be anytime soon that he'll be back. But I just know that feel really good about the fact that he's able to get everything taken care of and is on the mend now. and we'll hope to get him back as soon as possible. In regards to the quarterbacks, I thought that based on Saturday, especially during we had everything segmented. One of our goals for the scrimmage was to get consecutive plays, get the guys to drive the football down the field and stay out there, for 8+ plays at a time without subbing anybody. It was important, and I thought during those drives that we did that thought they looked sharp, made some good throws, and I did feel like that we need to improve in our 2-minute situation. That wasn't up to my standard. Obviously, the kick was great because we always give certain much time on the clock. How much time do you have left? Do you need a field goal? Do you need a touchdown? And obviously, you were able to get the field goal in one of the drives to win the game. But didn't feel like we moved the ball as well as we should have, and also didn't think we utilized the clock and understanding the situation as well as we should have. So, but that's part of teaching. It's the first time we've done that in the stadium. Had the play clock out there, had the game clock going, and so great opportunity to teach from. But there's no question that Mike's throwing the ball well. Jack's really, I think, has improved a lot, and he needs to. And Dexter's thrown the ball really well. Those three guys, to me, have really shown a high level of being able to make some tough throws. All three have strong arms, and I think Coach Sheridan's done a really good job with them. But, as a collective group, I just expect them to keep getting better every single day.
All right. Looks like Zach's the last one here.
Tom, he's a guy you've brought up, and Coach Womack brought him up too. Ty Wise is somebody I know he enrolled early. I know that maybe doesn't mean quite what it would in a normal year, but just what has he done to kind of stand out for you kind of early here and maybe to be a player that it does seem like, teammates and coaches have noticed kind of above and beyond as a freshman?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what I said with Javon Swinton. Very similar personality. Does what he's supposed to do. Doesn't say a whole lot in regards to he's just a man that takes care of his business, and that is somebody that that type of behavior I highly respect. And he's consistent. He's dependable. He's very bright. He's come from a really strong program, well prepared, and he cares. And he practices really hard. He's learning his playbook. That can be a really difficult thing for a lot of freshmen. The size of the playbook, the speed with which we install everything sometimes gets very overwhelming for guys. That's where I think coming in early does help, even though, as you mentioned, it was cut short in regards to the spring reps, but it was still more than anybody else would have had he not been here. So, and I just think it kind of gives you a taste and a feel for what it's really like. And when you come back, as he did, when he came back after the COVID break, that he kind of really hit the ground running. You can tell he took care of his business, when he was away from us, by putting himself in position to be in great physical shape. He studied, paid attention during the Zoom meetings, and he's able, actually, we played him as both a Mike and a Stinger during, fall camp so far, which is unusual, for a freshman that you'd be able to have him in multiple spots. So, but I just think he's just a very savvy player, and he's proven to be a good tackler, which is a great quality for a linebacker. So I think he's got a very bright future. He's obviously got a lot of good players ahead of him right now that have been here for several years. But in this year, we're trying to get a bunch of guys ready. So right now, by the fact that he's learning both Mike and Stinger is a big plus for his future, in the short term and also for the long term.
All right, one more time. Tom Brew, last one.
Tom, I know last week you sort of dropped Friday night as to that first weekend, and so we're still waiting to hear when games are going to be. Has the Big Ten given you any direction at all as to when they're going to tell you guys when these games are going to be and when they're going to start yet, or are you still on hold for all that?
Yeah, we're still on hold, and I haven't been given a timeline. Usually, I would think a couple weeks out, just for planning purposes, we would probably know. So we're now getting close to that. So I would hope by this weekend, that's not based on what I've been told. That's just assuming, that we can be able to plan accordingly. So you definitely need to know, that final week leading up to it. We schedule our whole mock game. So if we're going to play on Friday night, we'll do the mock game on Friday night. The 16th, if we're going to play on the 24th, and we'll do it on the 17th. So that Saturday. So hopefully we'll know here soon so we can get those planned out. But I don't know that information. If I did, I'd let you know.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Leo.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.